Make time slow down. Hop off this merry-go-round. Out of this noisy old town. Find me some peace of mind. Tired of that business talk. People just blowing off smoke. Need a simple walk. Need me some peace of mind. Just a little peace of mind. And a little satisfaction. A little peace of mind. Satisfaction. You can fly private planes. You can drop your long fancy names. Play all those dumb silly games. Just give me my peace of mind. Don't need fancy cars. Don't give me those sweet fat cigars. I ain't no bad superstar. Just want me some peace of mind. Just a little peace of mind. And a little satisfaction. Just a little peace of mind. Satisfaction. Satisfaction. Gotta make time slow down and get off this merry-go-round and out of this noisy ass town and find me some peace of mind. Tired of that bullshit talk and people just blow and smoke. I need to take a simple walk. I need me some peace of mind. Just a little peace of mind. And a little satisfaction. A little peace of mind. Satisfaction. Ay, ay, ay. A little peace of mind. Oh, just a little satisfaction.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Derek Conyer. This is the Odyssey of Derek Conyer, up close and personal. And tonight our subject is the spirit of fear. Not the spirit of fear, the spirit of offense. Last week was about fear and faith. This week is the spirit of offense. Where do I start? First of all, this is something that's ongoing that I've learned. And it's been brought to my knowledge that sometimes I speak in absolutes. But the fact is that if I don't speak unless I've got a little knowledge about it and I've been through it. Reading is one thing, but unless it's been placed at my feet and I've had some experiences with it, I keep my mouth shut. So if I do say something, you can check it. And at least if you don't have it in your life, hey, stay tuned, it's coming. But here's the thing: the spirit of offense attacks everybody. It's like an octopus. It has 8 arms, and its primary goal is to entangle you. What do you mean, spirit of offense? Offended. You ever been offended? You ever woke up and just everything everybody said bothered you? That's called the spirit of offense. Especially when it comes to the last commandment was to love our brother like we love ourselves. Today, I don't see that happening. Today was a tough day for me, to be quite frank. The last couple of days have been real tough for me. It's been brought to my attention that I get offended very easily. Um, Not from somebody else, but from internal. God. I speak to God, and He told me you need to work on that. And so I thought that would be a great subject to shoot from the hip and talk about, because I think everybody could actually use a little knowledge about that. If it's a spirit and it's just attacking everybody, race, color doesn't matter. It's about actually being offended. Say love. When you walk in love, I'll start here. For the last few days, I've been a little bit offended about some of the things that have been said on Facebook, which shouldn't really matter. And sometimes it does matter because I'm having trouble with my love walk. Love walk, what I mean by love walk, I want to walk clean. I don't want to be offended. I don't want to offend anybody, and I don't want anybody to offend me. That's a beautiful place of peace. But you can't just get there just by just getting there. For example, I talked about this thing called witchcraft, and I talked about different things and that's involved in it, and a couple people brought up different points that were really good, and a lot of people took shots at me, which I expect that, I understand that, but when I speak about it, I speak about absolutes. I've had experience with certain scenarios, like yoga. And some young lady came and said something to me about me joining yoga, and it's always these things about yoga. It's not brand new. This is not new. But it's a new wave to different people, and in fact it feels good. I guess that's the draw in. It does feel good. But but there's nothing wrong with meditating. But meditating on something is more important. Because see, I believe yoga leaves you open. If you open your spirit, there's things floating around here that you can't see. Just like, I'll give you an example. You say spirit. Let's break it down. Spirit. Let's say you're in a room and you guys are having a conversation. There's two of y'all. Somebody else walks in and the whole atmosphere change. That's called spirit. I can't be more specific than that. So we're all just walking spirits. But there's some that would love to occupy our bodies and our minds for the negative and for the positive. All right, I bought a little bit of a reference here so I don't get all over the place, right? The spirit of offense will rob you of your peace. That's the first thing we're talking about. Peace and meditation. I meditate on the Word of God. That's what keeps me at peace, because I know that we're just spiritual beings. And I put in, like I said last week, it's about what you put in there and what you get out. So along with what we talked about yesterday, last Wednesday, about this, what you get, what you put in is what you get. It's the same thing here. To meditate on something, not to just leave yourself open. Now you can do all the research you want on YouTube, where you got many people who have indulged in this type of curricular activity that's supposed to be nuance and new age, but it's not. It's not. So, and at the same time, I understand people can be offended, right? That's where we go into this spirit of offense. I can be offended. It says in the Bible, one of the fruits of the Spirit is to take no offense, to be compassionate, to be empathetic, and quite frankly, to love my brother like I love myself. And, excuse me, let's have a talk. Can we talk? We're just going to have a normal talk, drink a little tea, and have some conversation. Simple as that. I ain't trying to preach to nobody. I'm just trying to tell a story and tell a little bit about my life. The Odyssey of Derek Conyer, up close and personal. One of the things I've found myself is that it's easy to rob my energy because I didn't have my set focus on peace. I didn't have my set focus on trying to be a better person and meditating on peace. You have to actually go after peace. Put it on like a jacket, to be honest with you. Because somebody gonna say something, or somebody gonna do something during the day to rob you of your energy. You say it's vibe stillers, but I say set your clock on, set your watch on peace. Meaning, something I gotta work on too. This is not something just I'm speaking obliviously about, and it's just something to something to be something. I'm talking about what I need to work on personally also. So I got some revelation from God. I've been praying about it, about what to say, and I'm just going to be real with it. I think the spirit of offense is like an octopus. Its job is to entangle you and to keep you offended. Let's say, for example, there was knowledge that could be gained. I believe every person you meet is in different places, and some is giving knowledge and some is taking. But if you're not open for anything, you ain't learning nothing. And me personally, I don't want to miss nothing. I want everything life has to offer me, every drop. So sometimes I can be offended by the smallest things and never really get the blessing out of things. So it's like, to me, it feels like uh, I lose track of what's going on when somebody offends me, and I never see the bigger picture. It is about the bigger picture because most of the people in your life will come and going. They're either bless you, or you're either to learn something from them, or they learn something from you. That's the two exchanges. But I find myself being egotistical and egocentric because if I feel offended, that means I don't have any empathy. I'm not even being compassionate. I'm not really trying to be empathetic, and that for me bothers me as a person, of carrying light who wants to know a little few things. My primary goal is to strive to be the best person I can be, so I can have the best experience here while I'm here in this physical form. Very important for me. Is That's very important for me. I don't know what's important for you, but we all in our different places. But I just wanted to elaborate on the spirit of offense. There's times where, hold on, let me get a little tea here. How do I stay grounded in this spirit? How do I actually alleviate myself from, or catch myself when I'm being offended? Or, okay, of course, some people, I'm not going to let nobody disrespect me. That's, as a matter of fact, they can't disrespect me. I go that far to say that no one can disrespect anyone. It's an exchange going on. You receive, they're giving it and you receiving it. So we still have a choice. That's what I'm saying. So if somebody comes offensive, I can take it in, and then we have an exchange going on. That person got that energy off of them, and suddenly it's on to me. So there's an exchange going on. So we do have a choice. This is what I found out, that we do have a choice, and an argument takes two. Right now, I've been looking all over the TV and looking all over the internet, and you see they're killing my people. And it's nothing new. It's nothing new, but I think people are getting tired. Uh, that's not being offended. That's actually being tired of actually nonsense. So there's certain offenses that lead to other things. So what I'm saying is that if there's nothing positive coming out of the scenario, um, which I don't believe being offended is anything positive about. Further point than anything is that people are angry right now. People are offended. And to be honest with you, all I see on Facebook is argumentative actions, and everybody's arguing about this, everybody's arguing about that. So, how do you keep us apart? Let's go back. Maybe I explain this to you. There's an enemy. There's an enemy. I'm not your enemy. There's an enemy. There's a spiritual entity that's an enemy that would like to keep us from actually comparing notes from our own human experience. If you can't reach me, I can't reach you. We're mad at each other. Next thing you know, what happens? It turns physical. This is what it's all about. So how do you actually monitor your intake of being offended? Because it's some way during the day you're going to be, nobody's perfect. You're going to be offended. But my thing is that I want to try to capture the moments when I'm going deep, or when I've taken it personal, or when I know for a fact that it's just ego. I want to try to equalize the table where I'm not dysfunctional in my thinking and my walk, because a lot of this stuff just creates dysfunction. Arguments, anger. We're not born like that. I want peace, peace of mind. Everybody wants satisfaction. I want peace of mind. That's the greatest thing, I think, while we're here to possess. And it's going to take some real thought, and not only that, but some real prayer. If you guys ever prayed before, center yourself, and just, if you don't believe in God, that's a whole other thing. But I want to talk to you about it anyway. Try to center yourself and ask God if He's real, and wait for the answer. For me, I have the answer. I've had my experiences. I know what that's about. So this is where I go to try to create a better person in myself. This is where I go. Nothing more. I'm not trying to jump around. I'm not a religious nut. This is not what it's all about. Ain't nothing wrong with praise and worship, though. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Because sometimes I get happy and I want to run. You know what I mean? I want to cry. Because I know God loves me. And to be loved that deep is powerful. So that thing centers me with peace. So if I know the fruit of the spirits is peace, and taking no offense, and the last commandment was to treat each other like I treat myself, treat your brother like you treat yourself, then I want to be in the right with that thing. And I think we don't have to search ourselves, because if the spirit of offense is stirring things up and creating anger, then you got animosity. Constant animosity. Look around, look on TV, look through the airwaves, look on Facebook, look on Instagram. People are angry. I understand people are frustrated because of the pandemic. That's not what I'm talking about. But it is what I'm talking about also. So far it's been 2 months quarantined. If you don't have a workout scheme, you're going to get frustrated. Frustration, tired, easy prey for offense. And you might say something or do something that you'll regret later. And you might miss some very valuable opportunities. I think I've done that myself. I've missed quite a few opportunities by being offended. But here's my opportunity to make it right and to focus on me. Do you, boo? I'm doing me. I'm trying to be the best I can be. And that's what it's all about for me. The best human experience I can have. Constantly growing, constantly adding to myself, constantly subtracting some things I don't want. Trying to be the better person. Just because somebody offends you or says something to you, you don't have to respond, because that makes you a partaker of the party. You can't offend me if I don't want to, if I ain't taking that in. So when I speak this is some things I need to learn. I've learned over the years. I'm not just off the handle and wild and crazy and I get offended about everything and I'm so sensitive. No, that's not what I'm talking about. But what I am talking about is that look around yourself and think about the spirit of offense. Don't everybody seem angry about something? How do we get out of that mode? How do we get out of that mode of being egocentric and angry and allowing this octopus with 8 legs to entangle us? Because once it's entangled us, I can actually it can flip the switch whenever it chooses and get you angry. Oh, what did she say? Oh, how did she look at me? Blah, 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 blah. Black people, for example, I can tell you one thing. It's easy to manipulate us and maneuver us because we get offended about everything. Why? How she looked at me? Why she looked at me like that? What did she say? What I'm saying is that temperament and the spirit of offense go together. I want to keep my temperature down. I want to be loving. I want to be caring. I like to hug people. That's my thing. Maybe I'm softy, but I'm a softy in my old age. Say what you want. I'm living the best life. I'm living my best life. Trying to work on myself by adding and subtracting. What's working for me? What's not working for me? Why am I so sensitive? Why am I offended? Did I miss something in that conversation? Did I miss a blessing? These are things that we have to weigh out. I want to subtract and make my walk lighter. So I tackled this subject called the spirit of offense. It's quite heavy because everybody's offended. So for me, as an antidote to that, I do a meditation. Like I said before, it's about what you put in and put out. I'm listening to the Word of God, or I'm listening to some gospel, or listening to some peaceful music, listening to some jazz. I'm actually intentionally, when I wake up, first of all, thankful. And I ask God to order my steps. And I actually am tackling the next thing He's brought to my attention, which is the spirit of offense. Stop being used and stop being so sensitive and stop being so egocentric. It's just not about you. Not everything's about you. You don't have to be angry about everything, and you got to put everybody else in check. This is all ego. I personally am learning this. As I learn it, I want to share it. It's the Odyssey of Derek Conyer. This is my way of having my outlet. So when I speak to you, it's an outlet for me. When I write on Facebook, it's an outlet for me. I share my feelings. I told myself in 2020, I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to give everything I got. And I'm going to try to, not try to get anywhere, but I think it's important to help people along the way. If this experience is all about helping one another, and not be quite frankly, it's not enough of us doing this. So I took it upon myself to just be transparent and have a free speech with my life and how it is and some of the knowledge gained and some of the things that I personally I'm struggling with. I can say I'm struggling. I'm a hot-tempered dude, man, and I'm sensitive at the same time. Those two don't matter. It's like oil and water, but I got both of them. So I got some issues, man. I got some issues personally. I'm just saying about me. I don't know what you working with or what you got, but when it comes to Derek Conyer, he's got some issues, and we all do. So, like I said before, I'm trying to work on them, and the spirit of fits seems to be whooping my behind sometimes. I get it. I'm sensitive, and at least I'm not the way I used to be. Uh, for example, the word nigger. That word became powerful because we have allowed it to become powerful. I know there's history behind that word, but when you call me that word, I have to receive that word. I'm a king. I already got a label for myself. So when you say something out of my name and out of my character, it don't bother me. So for me, I lightened it up. When I came over to Sweden, he called me, yeah, that nigga. No, Mr. Nigga to you. I'm a king. You don't know me like that. Only my boys can go there. Maybe I'm silly and crazy, but that's how I am now. A little bit older, a little bit wiser, a little bit softer. Trying to use this brain God gave us, huh? So for me to you, man, let's slow things down, okay? Because it looks like both sides, white, black, Chinese, everybody's angry. And that's how it's going down. The spirit of offense is taking over. Everybody's angry. Everybody's excited. We don't know what's going to happen next. Well, some of us do. I do know it's going to get darker before it gets lighter. I'm not promising ugly. I'm not trying to curse the scenario, but it might be time to read that Bible, because there's some things in there that are happening right now. I'm going to get more into that, but right now we're going to have just a simple conversation. And who knows, maybe one day I'll open up a Bible study. Who knows? But I find this topics that God give me very, very powerful, because at times I can't sleep when he's speaking to me, when he's giving me revelation. And I get up and I write. And I get up and I talk. And I get up and I pray. And I try to meditate on being clean. You know what the word clean means? You know what I mean when I say clean? I don't want to walk with nothing except pure love. That's my goal. I haven't got there yet. It's a journey. In fact, I often fall down sometimes. But I get back up and I dust myself off and I try it again. And I know my primary goal is to get peace. Peace of mind is the only way I can climb up that mountain of success. Success for me means to walk free of nonsense. And that's the most important part for me. That's where I'm in my life in this journey. I've been through quite a bit. And before it's all over, we're going to share all of that. But I just wanted to take a note and take some time to discuss the spirit of offense. And to be quite frankly, we need to start thinking about this thing that's entangling us and got us all angry and quite frankly at odds with each other. Something has to change. The way we wake up, the way we meditate, the way we see life. Challenge yourself like I have. Try to be a better you. I want to be a better Derek. Challenge yourself. Don't be so egocentric. Not everything is about you, and some people are angry. And it doesn't have to be something about you. When somebody lashes out, it says more about them, not you. And then it goes into how you receive it. Then we're talking about you. That's what God brought up to my attention. So I don't have to act on every scenario. I could be chill sometimes and just let people talk, man. What I think about what the greatest part about Sweden is that people are, you can't pull them out of character. I think they're strong over here when it comes to these things. And maybe they'll get offended and they'll talk about it there, but they won't let you see it. I think that's strong. Maybe they shoulder it and maybe they end up in the stomach and end up being sick because they didn't deal with it the right way. So either way, it's when it comes to the confrontational thing, at least it didn't go too far. But I'm going to teach how not to eat that thing. And how to be real at real peace means that you can't offend me. You can't offend me. I haven't seen too many of those people. But I have seen some people. When they walk in a room, you just feel this sense of peace. So from me to you, I want to try to get there, and hopefully we can get there together, huh? This is the Odyssey of Derek Conyer, up close and personal. Again, I say, if nobody has said, I loved you today, I am saying it. I love you out there in cyberland and cyberspace. I wish every one of you well, and I'll see you next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. This is Derek Conyer, the Odyssey of Derek Conyer, up close and personal. Talk to you soon. Love you. Peace.
Planets lined up, stars became nova. That's how I was born, trying to get over. Been dying ever since. But if I'm gonna die, nigga, I'm gonna live like a prince. Does that make sense? Get out the bed and get something on your head. My mama said that was scriptural ritual. But I'm busy trying to get in jail, trying to get them battle wounds. Oh, mama, what time I wasted and consumed.
No matter who you are, a diamond in the universe, yes, you're a star. Maybe confuse you are, until you see the shine, you keep looking for the caviar. Yes, you're a star, a diamond in the universe, yes, you are. Yes, you're a star, a diamond in the universe, yes, you are.
Whether it's higher power, God, Allah, or whatever gets you by, we steady looking for that UFO in the sky, nullifying our existence of the perfect creation of imagery of God's manifestation of His pure love and animation. With poetry in motion, listen to your dream, for what is missing is hidden in the subconscious, it seems. What does deja vu mean to you? Hidden dreams are the truth? Man, listen. A wise man uses 10% of his brain. What happens to the remaining? Unawakened, lying dormant? Or can it only be lifted through spirit? Thus bringing us way back to the mind, body, and your soul. A lump of coal is a diamond that never gave up, and now it's whole.
No matter who you are, a diamond in the universe, yes, you're a star. Maybe confuse you are, until you see the shine, you keep looking for the caviar. Yes, you're a star, a diamond in the universe, yes, you are. Yes, you're a star, a diamond in the universe, yes, you are.
So this one here goes out to you vibe stealers, dream killers who I met along the way. You probably sit back on your couch wondering and saying, he's talking that same shit today. Well, I hope I got your focus when I mention spirit. Let's dig a little deeper and turn the pages on this one, because it's easier the cheaper route we've seen. If a man is measured on his actions or reaction or his financial caption, what happens to the folks who are broke? Are they a joke? Or are they just cattle to implement your scheme of killing dreams? Where's the compassion, I'm asking? Or are you too busy head smashing? MTV got that next generation's pimp to be. You mean to tell me with this being the last stage, that's all they got on TV for you and me? Man, we losing focus, and with loving God and religion is hopeless, with money being the primary focus. Is there something about me that you don't know about you, where you get loving you confused?
No matter who you are, a diamond in the universe, yes, you're a star. Maybe confuse you are, until you see the shine, you keep looking for the caviar. Yes, you're a star, a diamond in the universe, yes, you are. Yes, you're a star, a diamond in the universe, yes, you are. No matter who you are, a diamond in the universe, yes, you're a star. Maybe confuse you are, until you see the shine, you keep looking for the caviar. Yes, you're a star, a diamond in the universe, yes, you are. Yes, you're a star, a diamond in the universe, yes, you are. No matter who you are, a diamond in the universe, yes, you're a star. Maybe confuse you are, until you see the shine, you keep looking for the caviar. Yes, you're a star, a diamond in the universe, yes, you are. Yes, you're a star, a diamond in the universe, yes, you are.